Live from our headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, this is still Enterprise Morning on Enterprise Television. And now to our first conversation for today. Thyroid disease is an umbrella term for conditions that affect thyroid functions. In case you are wondering what that is, the thyroid has been described as that part of the human body that houses the fire of life. Now, hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism are the two main types of thyroid disease, but each has multiple possible causes. The Thyroid Federation International, a global organization that supports patient education and awareness, will mark the International Thyroid Awareness Week between 23 and 30th May, with the World Thyroid Day happening on the 25th of May. With me in the studios to discuss this and more is Ambassador Iroma Ufod-Tube, a survivor and founder of a Thyroidism Awareness and Support Initiative. Welcome to Enterprise Morning, Madam.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, it's so good to have you. But most importantly, for the fact that you are, or you were once a survivor of thyroid disease. Please tell us more.
Okay. Let me start with the overview of the thyroid gland. You know, the thyroid gland is a gland that everybody has. It is located, it's a butterfly gland that is located at the base of the neck. Putting it in a layman's language, I would say thyroid gland is like the gear of the body, okay? You know, when you start a car, the car will start. But if the gear is not working optimally, it cannot function. Or maybe if you put reverse, it will put you on drive. If you have had that experience, that's what thyroid disease has. So once the thyroid produces two hormones that regulate the body metabolism, that is to say that the thyroid gland is connected to the entire body, from the hair to our heel. So for the body to function optimally means that your thyroid gland is healthy. The hormones that are responsible for that, the body metabolism, are two hormones called T3 and T4, thyroxine and thyroidironine. So they produce the normal hormones that the body needs to metabolize. So there's a situation where those hormones are produced at a very high level. It puts the body in you talked about hyperthyroidism, then the body becomes overactive. And when the body becomes overactive, it has its own series of symptoms. Then hypothyroidism, when the hormones are not produced enough to function well in the body, to support the body. So there are other symptoms. There are other types like thyroid cancer. There is thyroid cancer. There is goiter can also occur without being hyper or hypo.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So my own was hyperthyroidism, and it was a very terrible journey for 6 years before I was diagnosed after 6 years. And when I was diagnosed, that was when I started going for the proper treatment, because it took me to a very long journey of misdiagnosis, misunderstanding, that took me to different types of hospitals without being diagnosed, because the physical symptoms did not present. I didn't present the physical symptoms at that early stage. It was at that later stage that I started having some swellings, my eyes bulging, that I even gave the doctor I met. It was an eye doctor. Yes, I went to meet again through my boss in the office. So she didn't even diagnose anything. She just told me, go for a thyroid function test, which means she's experienced in that. So it started from a period of, I started my treatment. But before then, I was shrinking, unsolicited weight loss, my eyes bulging, fatigue, irritability, anxiety, depression, and fast heart rate. I cannot walk. From that time, you can't tell me to come to your house if your house has a staircase. I can't climb there. I'll just stay downstairs and wait there. Or when I get there, I'll wait. If I climb 2 stairs, I'll wait. After climbing it, you start panting. Your heart starts racing. And infertility too affected me. It can also make
So it goes with that too?
Yes. When that hyperthyroidism comes, it comes with infertility. Your menstrual period becomes irregular. At times, it becomes scanty. At times, it cannot even come at all. So you see that person, you may not ovulate. So it totally affects the woman's reproduction. That's why I'm saying that every system, tissues, organs, and every part of the body is connected to the thyroid gland. And you see yourself, I used to eat very much. I am somebody that is very conscious of my weight. But that time, I was eating so voraciously. You eat so much, like you can eat 10 times in a day and feel hungry 10 times in a day. As soon as you finish, that is what I'm saying, that my thyroid gland was producing too much. So my body metabolism went overdrive, put my body in a hyperactivity. Even when you have a baby, you conceive, the baby cannot stay because the system is working in an overdrive mode. So everywhere is hyper. You see, there are some mental symptoms associated with it because the person gets angry at the slightest provocation. Unnecessarily. Flares up, you look for trouble when there's no trouble. Any slightest thing, you shout, you yell, you pick offense so easily. So that at that time, nobody wanted to understand me. Even in my workplace, everywhere, I know you just go like this, people will just be looking at you as if you're a mad person or an unusual person.
Because it's very important you shed light on this, because thousands, if not millions of Nigerians are living with this condition, but oblivious of the fact that this is what is going through with them. So my question is, at what point do you think someone who has no idea that this is a condition, it's a thyroid condition, at what point would that person understand that it's possible that I begin to look towards this angle when possibly I have exhausted all measures to ensure that I get the help that I need?
Yes, I thank you for that question, because I must tell you that diagnosing thyroid disease is very difficult because it is common but not popular, simply because the awareness is not very loud or versatile like that. But it's common. It's eating people. The reason why we are pushing is for us to spread, amplify our voices on this awareness. A lot of people have it. Even research has it that 60% of people, out of 100%, 60% of people suffering from thyroid that have thyroid disease are not yet diagnosed.
Really?
Yes. Because the symptoms mimic other popular health conditions. So at the end of the day, you are diagnosed of high blood pressure. Persistently, it's not going down. Doctor will be giving you high blood pressure medicine. They won't dig deep to find out the possible cause that will make this young person to be having high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is one of the symptoms of hyperthyroidism. You see someone growing too fat, uncontrollably, the person has applied everything in fact, become obese. You don't want to dig. What could be the possible cause? The symptoms are there, but it's just that our people, our professionals, medical professionals are not too detailed.
And this condition cuts across all ages, right?
It cuts across all ages, but it's found more predominant in the female gender.
Oh, yes. You did say it's gender specific.
It's gender specific disease. The ratio is 7 to 10 to 2 and 3.
To 3.
Yes. So but these days, men are coming down with thyroid disease. I don't know, maybe because of the awareness. Because a man that cannot impregnate his wife can continue going for hormonal tests. Thyroid is a hormonal test, but they won't tell that person, go for a thyroid test. You understand? The man will be good. I have a case like that. The man, they kept sending that man go for a culture test, infection, this and that. But the moment he came looking at him, I said, "Oh, guy, you have hyperthyroidism. Go and do your test." Lo and behold, the levels were so high. And within 2 weeks, he took his drugs. He came back to thank me.
Wow.
He said, "What?" They could not find out because the wife follows us on social media. So she kept telling the husband that these things are happening to you. I always read this woman's article. Let's go and meet her. Now, immediately I saw her, even her eyes were bulging out.
Oh.
Because most times when you have hyperthyroidism, the goiter may be the last thing that will come out. By that time, it would have dealt with your system. Like me, by the time I was fully diagnosed, my systems were shutting down. I felt myself going. My kidneys were already giving up. My legs were swollen like this. Yeah.
Wow.
Before I was finally diagnosed and started my treatment. And one thing about it, it responds to treatment. The problem is to diagnose it. It's often misdiagnosed.
All right. It's very great that you are a survivor of a thyroid and the condition, but most importantly, the fact that you are championing the cause for creating the needed awareness for people who do not know about this condition and all. So tell us more about this year's awareness campaign.
Okay. TASI, the name of our organization is Thyroid Awareness and Support Initiative. So we belong to an umbrella body that supports thyroid patients that called the Thyroid Federation International. So, for us to, emphasize on this thyroid health awareness, every year there's a World Thyroid Day, and there's a stretch of 1 week that we have activities to mark International Awareness, Thyroid Awareness Week, which is coming up from 23rd to 31st of May. Then World Thyroid Day is on the 25th of May. So it's just for us to communicate and emphasize on the need to maintain good thyroid health. How? Through prevention, proper management, and treatment. Because a lot of people go the other way. Immediately they see someone with a swollen leg, say, drink this, drink that, drink this. The best thing anybody that feels that she has a strange symptoms, he or she is confronted with any strange symptoms, is to visit the hospital. We have cases of people who followed the herbal way and ended up complicating their issues.
Or spiritual way.
I am also, it's nothing bad to,
to visit prayer
houses. But you also do the one you can do as a human being. Yes.
All right. So what do we expect on that day? What are those things that are underlining? What programs are you going to put in place on that day?
The theme of this year's World Thyroid Day is thyroid is a non-communicable disease.
Oh, thyroid is a non-communicable disease. Okay.
So we want to use that to communicate to the grassroots who stigmatize people that have thyroid disease, especially people that have goiter. Most of them attribute those things to witchcraft or infectious disease, that when I come close to this person, and is also genetically connected. It runs in the family. Yes. So we have a thyroid awareness walk.
Okay. Which starts from where and ends where?
It starts from Ikotu Igondo LCDA and ends at the market, Ikotu Market. Yes. So that day, we expect the people in the community who are already working on how to mobilize them, then go to the market to sensitize them on the need and how to detect, how to know when the symptoms arrive. And when you see the symptoms, it is not a death sentence. And it's also not something that will make you to start, discriminating or stigmatizing your fellow human being. Rather, advise that person to go for to seek medical care.
Yeah. Well, so lucky enough, those in Lagos are going to know more about this. How about around Nigeria? How do you, get somebody in Gualameji, in Bauchi, someone in Bukur, in Jos, and so on and so forth? How do they possibly get to, learn about this? Is there a medium that your organization is putting across to ensure that this message goes across?
Yes, we have different social media handles. And we also have patients across the country. That means that our awareness is spreading because we have refer people from the north, from Abuja, from Port Harcourt, from Delta, all over, from the west, Oshombo. We have patients all over. That gives us the assurance that and the encouragement that the awareness is spreading.
And is the government doing enough to support what you're doing and ensure that it cuts across?
Well, I will tell you that I don't know the government to me. Is it the state government?
State government, federal government, political leaders, of course, they're representing people that you're speaking to. So have they at any point say, hey, we love what you're doing?
One of the things we're advocating for is to give significant attention to awareness of thyroid disease. Having explained to you the function of this thyroid is imperative. It has become imperative that they get involved. Unfortunately, they don't, because they feel it's not a common disease. But they don't know it may be happening to somebody
closest to them
that is not diagnosed. So I will tell you basically, but I'll give it to Lagos State.
Okay.
They are really like Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board. They help us to coordinate this community awareness, and the Ministry of Health. They are doing their best, but we need a significant support and partnership, as in to drive this awareness
to people that need it more.
Yes.
All right,
and we're also ready to partner with any state government to bring this awareness to their doorsteps.
Very good. All right, so in 30 seconds before we coast home on this segment, I'd love to ask, what would be that one message to a sufferer, someone who is going through this condition? Most importantly, the families of those people, so they wouldn't see, just like the theme, it is not a communicable disease. So what is that message to a sufferer and those who are connected to them?
Okay. The family and the relations, the colleagues, church members, they are supposed to be a strong support system to any chronically sick person. So the message I have out there is to be compassionate and empathic on anybody that is suffering from thyroid disease and other related chronic disease, because it is not an infectious disease. When you meet somebody or you have a family member that is suffering from thyroid disease, the best thing you give that person is moral support, financial support, and every other support you can give that person to be able to survive that illness, because it affects the mental health also. So that is everybody. It can happen to anybody. And I also want to tell everybody, thyroid disease can affect anybody. So I advise that people, I'm talking to general public now, to once in a while go for a thyroid function test and rule out anything, because when you have it, it can cause any type of illness and the person will be going from one hospital to another. And it is not a very common diagnosis that doctor will tell you go for this. They must have treated and it fails them before they will tell you to go for a test. So I advocate and I advise that people should do, given the importance, the pivotal role it plays in the body, it's supposed to be nurtured.
Very true. Very, very apt and well said. But the truth still remains that our health, is our wealth. And it's very, very germane and important at this point that we focus on our health. So when you have any sort of issue, ensure that you seek the best medical support so you can get help for yourself. I also love to say that TASI has a publication here, Thyroid Awareness and Support Initiative, that you can get from their office, or possibly you can visit their website also at tasinnigeria.org, so you can get more information that will be of help to you. Love to say big thank you to Ambassador Irwoma Ofotube. Thank you so very much for being part of our show and for creating the most needed awareness to free people.
For having me, and also I want to appreciate Enterprise TV for your interest. This is a great support to us, because we leverage on all this media like yours to be able to get to our target audience. So I want to appreciate you on behalf of my organization for this a wonderful partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. We are highly grateful. So that and this and more, when we return, please don't go anywhere. Still Enterprise Television.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.